Hi, J. Frederick Smith here, Continental Realty of Jackson. We are at 2750 Glen Mawr Road. I'm standing on the front porch, and I forgot to mention a couple of things here on the front porch. First, this is on a slab. This is not a off-grade property, so that means we don't have any wood underneath the floors. It's all just cement underneath there. And the home is made of concrete blocks. You could probably see that. But what I didn't say is that this screen porch, the screens are all in great shape. It's all been freshly painted, and the screen porch has a bunch of power. There's an outlet here. There's an outlet up there. There's an outlet down here, and then there's another one up there, and that one is a GFCI. So you've got a ton of electric connection options in your screen porch. Why you need that many, I don't know. It's not very big, but gosh, you could put a TV up there. You could put a ceiling fan in if you wanted. You got lots of opportunities here. That's all I was saying. Now, the door frame is cut out for a deadbolt, but you can see here that we do not have a deadbolt. This door blank does not have one. It's not too hard to get a deadbolt put in though. So if that's something that you wanted, we'd be easily capable of taking care of that for you. The door's been freshly painted with this navy blue color, almost black, but it is definitely navy blue. And anyway, let's go ahead and head on inside the house. The AC works great. It's cold in here. I'll just say that. LVP floors, and this is maybe $2 a square foot. Vinyl plank flooring. It's not the greatest, but you know what? It's good enough for a home that is on a slab. It probably isn't going to give you any trouble. In the living room space here, freshly painted, as I said, multiple outlets. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 outlets. Nice ceiling fan, very modern. There's the mini split. As you can see, all the windows in here are new double pane vinyl windows, and the room isn't huge, but it's big enough for a couch and a chair and maybe a coffee table and a place to put your TV. So that's actually really great. Looking in the kitchen, we've got this cute little range here. This is a 4-burner range. This is apartment size range, brand new, electric glass top, black and chrome, apartment size Whirlpool refrigerator. Now, this should be over here. And it's not hard to move the hinge from one side to the other, because the door with it close to the wall like that is, nothing but problems. So my suggestion is that you have your handyman, whoever that is, pop this guy out of here. Move this hinge over to this other side for both the refrigerator and the freezer, because if it opens on this side here, it's going to be a whole lot easier. Beautiful white quartz countertops. They look really nice. New cabinets. Lazy Susan. So I appreciate a Lazy Susan in the corner. Makes it really nice for storage, easy to get at the stuff that you put in there. And you can put a lot of things in a corner cabinet like that. Date basin, single sink with a modern oiled bronze look for the faucet with the pull-down sprayer. Now, they didn't do a very good job of installing that, because what's happening is there's a weighted cord underneath the sink that pulls this back up. And that weighted cord, when I pull down, that weighted cord is hitting something, so it's not pulling up all the way. I have to mess with it. But like I said, that's an easy fix. Maybe there's a garbage disposal. Nope, no garbage disposal. But if we look under the sink here, you'll see what I'm talking about. So this here is that weighted cord. And as you see, here's the weight. And what's happening is it's banging on the plumbing here. So what needs to happen is that this all needs to be pushed back closer to the wall in a way that hangs without obstruction, and then you won't have any problems. But all this underneath the sink is all new and beautiful, looks great. We've got the soft close hinges One thing we don't have though is any drawers. We have cabinets, but no drawers. So that means you're going to have to be creative when it comes to putting away your silverware. But you know what? A little silverware basket or something on the counter would probably be just fine. When you're standing at the sink, you do get a chance to look out over the screen porch, which are the back porch, I should say. And there's not a lot to see back there, but you know, if somebody's hanging out in the back, well, they're going to be right there. Also, I noticed that there is no deadbolt here on the back door either. As you can see, this has some light coming through, which means that the door seal is either missing or damaged. Let's just take a look. So there actually is no door seal here. It should be right here. It should be this little foam strip that, you know, it's the full size of it and it sticks out a little bit. So when you close the door hits that foam strip and then it seals the temperature, the warm air out and the cool air in, or vice versa in the winter. It's an easy thing to install and definitely not something I would be concerned about because it's really not a problem. Now this, I can't tell. I think, what does that say? I can't, from where I'm standing, I can't see what that says, but I'll check this video. This panel looks new though. I just don't have a way to open it and see, but there is a brand stamp on the latch that opens the panel, and that is what it is that I was interested in. Does that say Square D, or what is it? Let me just see if I can zoom in so I can see it. Yep, Square D. Okay, so this is a Square D panel, and that's just fine. Square D makes good electric panels, and so you've got a new electric system, at least a new electric panel in this house, and it's a Square D panel, so you don't have to worry about recalls. That's wonderful. Some of these electric plates are not fastened down correctly. Probably actually it's the outlet, or maybe even the box that the outlet is in. In this case, it looks like it's the box that is not in the wall far enough. Any handyman can take care of that in about 1 minute. So also not a big deal. I'm not sure I like the dark colored outlets, though. I might just have those replaced if we're going to get in that box anyway. So let's check out the back of the house, the 2 bedrooms, and the bathroom. And I think these bedrooms are kind of mirrors of each other. So we'll start with this one and then we'll check the other one. Now here we've got this same little industrial look ceiling fan that they have in the living room. It does have a remote. The light switch is here on the wall and it gives off a lot of light. Now this is a small little bedroom at maybe 10 feet by 12 feet. It's not a big bedroom, okay? You're gonna fit a double bed in here. You might be able to squeeze a queen bed in here if the head is over here. But if you do that, there's not going to be a lot of room, you know, to go around the bed to the other side. Everybody's going to have to get in on this side. Or if you put the head down there, then if it's a double bed, you probably could both get in, but there would just be a very narrow amount of space on each side to do that. Or else you're going to have to go over the footboard. So just a small little bed. The closet, however, for this size of room is really good sized at maybe 8 feet from corner to corner, but it's not very deep. In fact, it's barely deep enough for your clothes to hang without bumping the wall or the door. But, you know, it probably is good enough. The shelf is at the correct height here, so you have plenty of room between the shelf and the door frame, or in this case, the track for the slider, so you can get your big boxes and stuff up in there if you want. Much better than many. If it was down just a little bit lower, that would be great, but hey, it's really good, at least where it is. Now these doors, you see they swing because there's supposed to be a a thing for the track down below, like a guide for the doors right in the middle. And it mounts to the floor to keep these doors locked in place so that they don't swing back and forth. But that's a $2 part and also easy to fix. We've got a good amount of light coming in from 2 windows. All the windows appear to have been replaced in the house. So that's nice. So far, this house is really pretty good. Now, I'm not sure what this is, but I think this is a wall heater. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So this is a wall heater, not something that you're probably going to use very much, but in the winter time, this one little heater is probably enough to heat most of the house. This one here. The only thing about it is, well, 2 things. First, the door does not open all the way, so the heat, it does go past the door, but it's close, so you're going to have to pay attention to that, okay? And the second thing about that is that these kind of wall heaters like this is usually they mount closer to the floor, so that the heat can go up and it warms kind of the whole air in the area while the heat's going up. But this is mounted up pretty high. So when you come into this room, you have to be careful if this is on, because it will get hot, and it may be hot enough to burn you if you bump your hand against it. Okay, we don't need any heat right now though, so I'm shutting that guy off. At least though, you have a source of heat in your home for those days in February and March where we do get some cold days sometimes. And not every house in Florida has heat, but this one does. Even though it's not very much, it's probably enough for your little house. Now this bedroom is pretty close to the same size as the other one. Maybe it's slightly bigger. Maybe it's 10 feet by 12 feet, which means that it would be easier for you to get your queen size bed in here or your double bed in here, maybe. Closet does not have any doors. There is a shelf, but there is no bar, and getting a bar installed would not be a lot of work. Getting some doors up here also, because there's already a track, probably would not be too much effort. It's just something, you would need to, well, no, the tracks feel good. So yeah, I think you could probably get a couple of hanging doors here for not too much at Home Depot. The doors and then the doors and then the little track rail thing that sits on the top of the door. And then on the floor down here, you're going to want to put one of those little guides that I was talking about. 2 windows, like I said, letting in lots of light. So that's not bad. With the ceiling fan, you're going to be cool here in the summer. And with the heater, you're going to be warm in the winter. So let's look at the restroom. Okay, wait. Here we go. So the light switch is up pretty high, and it is connected to the fan, which is working perfectly. I love that. I love the black octagon tile that they put down on the floor, and this low profile vanity here is really nice with the oiled bronze look to it. The shower has a hexagon pattern in the shower pan. You'll notice that it has a different color of grout here than here, and that's just a cleaning thing. Some bleach here will probably get these back to the white that you have in other places. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. White subway tile all the rest of the way around that was installed pretty well. I've seen worse. And then a big window that is clear, which means when you're standing there, you can wave hi to your neighbors. Hi neighbors, how you doing? How are you guys doing over there? And guess what? They can wave at you too. This is about 4 feet off the ground, that window. So, everything that's 4 feet or higher will be exposed to your neighbors. My thought is you're going to want to probably put something, an opaquing screen or maybe some blinds or something there to hide that. Unless, of course, you're the kind of person that, likes to share with your neighbors. In that case, well, then it's probably perfect for you. Why they didn't put an opaque window in here, I don't know. Maybe they were afraid of the cost or something. But to me, an opaque window should go in every restroom. I shouldn't have to worry about having some clear glass there, or my neighbors being worried about it, or my friends that come over having to deal with that, right? Oiled bronze, we've seen in the faucets and whatnot throughout the house so far, and we're seeing that same thing here, that dark color. It's kind of a very dark brown, but has a little coppery highlight to it. The over the sink, I forgot, we've got a nice big oiled bronze trimmed mirror and triple vanity light, also in oiled bronze. There is an outlet here with the switch. The question I have is that GFCI outlet or not? And it's possible that it's a GFCI breaker in that panel, but I can't tell because I can't get to the panel because the refrigerator's there. So that's one thing to be concerned of. If this is not GFCI and you've got your hair curler or your hair dryer plugged in and the sink is on and you accidentally drop it in there, well, you know, that could be bad for you. Nobody wants to, you know, get their hair curled in that fashion. Okay, so 2750 Glen Mawr Road. Cute little 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's not a big house. The lawn is bigger than the house is. The front definitely is, you know, big enough that you're going to have a lawnmower, though the rest of the yard is pretty small. And this sits back off of the road quite a ways. I think once the grass is mowed here, then it would look nice. It does look older from the street. It's not as fancy as some of the other houses on the block. But you know what? This is a good house with a concrete block structure on a slab and the updates that have been put in this house. This is a good little house. And, you know, I would thoroughly approve for anybody that was interested in picking it up. The only downside I see is that the electric panel is behind the refrigerator, which makes it hard to access. Possibly in the winter, that little heater is going to be working pretty hard. And you know, if you get close to it while it's been running for a while, it could burn you. And then my concern about the GFCI in the restroom. But everything else is beautiful in this house, besides tiny little things. And the stuff that I'm talking about may just be a non-issue. It just may not matter. So, because maybe we've got GFCI circuit breakers in here, in that electric panel, and when the refrigerator gets moved out of the way for inspection, we'll be able to see in there, right, and find out. Okay, so once again, 2750 Glen Mawr, not 2650 or 2850. We're going to get out of here and head out to the next one, and we'll see you there.